to our listeners, you're listening to The Salt Grain. I am your host, Holly McNamara, and I am here in studio, not on Zoom, today with former selectman Brett Zagrafos, Dr. Brett Zagrafos.
Hi.
I am so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Brett, we have wanted to launch this podcast for it's been 3 years.
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long.
And I heard people making fun of us.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly the Save Our Bay clowns that we'll tell our listeners about later. And I'm like, oh, so that means that all of our haters were anxiously awaiting our podcast.
They were. We have built-in listeners. I love it.
I think
We're
we
here.
win. We win.
We're here.
Right.
Ships in port.
So Brett was a selectman just like me, for 1 year longer than I was. From the neighboring town, Dighton. It looks like Digton, but it's pronounced Dighton, Massachusetts. And it's just a little bit north of Somerset. It's a right to farm community, so that Somerset was never a right to farm community, but anyway, Dighton is one of our neighbors, and Brett and I met because we both ran for office at the same time, 2016, and we just wanted to support each other and became really good friends, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Me too.
We have gone on trips together, and so many things. And Brett has a lot to talk to you about today, and I'm so excited for you to hear his stories. But Brett, I want you to explain for our listeners, because some of them don't know politics, they don't know how it works. I kind of explained how the selectman role works in one of the other episodes. But for the listeners, explain what made you want to run for office, how you got involved, and you ultimately ended up winning, and kind of where you're at now.
Yeah, absolutely. Whew, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So first, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad that you have this platform.
You helped me make it.
No, seriously, I am super proud of you.
Thank you.
I don't think many people know how hard you've worked on this.
Thank you, Brett.
Absolutely. So for anyone, I just think it's appropriate to start off where we should, which is thanks, right? We are fresh off of Thanksgiving. I think you worked really hard on this. I think you deserve this.
Thank you.
And I think anyone that has ever doubted you or laughed at you should see what you've created, the impact and the importance and the influence that you still rightfully have in your community.
Thank you, Brett.
Absolutely. And the area that you've staked out in your community, in your home. And I'm just really proud of you. I think that's important.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's rightful that you get the last laugh. Hair flip.
Likewise, my friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes when you lose, you win.
Right.
Have you learned that? I've learned that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's a huge lesson because it's hard. You hear it and you hear the words, but you're like, that I don't understand that. Well, you do understand when you live it. And we've both lived it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in very similar ways.
Very similar ways. I think that's what kind of gravitated us towards each other. Hey, babies. So what really prompted me to get involved with my community was looking around, seeing the potential.
Yeah. And where had you come from?
So I had come
You were born there, but...
Yeah. So I actually had lived in Taunton. Then we moved to Fall River when I was really, really young to save up money to basically purchase a house in Dighton.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a real, American dream story in that regard. And hats off to my parents, certainly, for that.
Yeah. And they're so supportive.
They chose the right community. For anyone that knows my story that thinks that just because an election went a certain way that maybe I didn't want it to go. I love my community and I have the utmost faith in its residents. They're just great people. So I just wanted to say that. What prompted me to run really was looking around, seeing all the potential that our
Yeah.
town had, the natural resources. Again, very similar story to the one that you have told about your reasons for running for office.
And moving home. And you were in Paris for a while.
I was. Yeah. I grew up in Dighton. I went to the elementary school, the middle school, the regional high school. And then I did my bachelor studies at Bridgewater State University. And then I did my graduate studies at UT.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
UT.
yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. I
yes.
love UT. And then I did my postdoctoral studies in Paris, where where I was working on brain cancer stem cells in adults and children.
It's incredible.
It is incredible.
And you were on a fellowship?
I was on a Marie Curie fellowship.
It's incredible, Brett.
Absolutely.
If people don't know that, I wanted to brag about you a little bit. So I wanted you to brag about
humble brag. What I say about my studies and my time in school, which by the way, what felt like too long a lot of times. And I know because you were up in Cornell doing your thing. I would say that I couldn't have done it without the support of the community. And I don't mean, when I say that, I don't mean it in like a cliche way, like people literally supporting me. What I mean is the community supported education. It supported good, solid programs. It supported solid funding for educational purposes. And I think because of that, I was allowed to go and do what I did educationally because, my parents were not independently wealthy. Like I told you, we had to save up just to be able to move back to Dighton for the excellent education system that they have. So it was a struggle. But I think that that's what prompted me after I was doing my postdoctoral fellowship in Paris to want to move back to Dighton. Because to me, having grown up in the town as of, 1993, 1994, not much had changed.
Yes, that is exactly.
Which, it's fine for certain things to stay the same. Like
traditionally.
Yeah. Like when I say that, I mean like, okay, maybe we aren't overdeveloped with a bunch of houses. What I meant, that's not what I mean. What I mean was untapped potential.
Correct.
That's what I mean. Like they weren't using the resources, the natural resources that the community
and the waterfront, like the whole waterfront,
which is still underutilized in my opinion.
Same here. Same in Somerset.
We should have jet ski rentals. We should have boating meaning like rentals.
Right.
We should have just jet skiers all on the water and a rental center and then like
water taxis.
Places for them. Exactly. And like places for them to eat. To dine.
On the water.
Knowing that they're going to be out on the water all day.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I talk about strategic planning. And I felt like that was really lacking. And that's what I wanted to move back and really get involved in while I was still moving back, establishing my career, changing careers at that time, etc.
Yeah.
And that's what really prompted me. It was more like I love this town, but it's almost a disappointment how some of the resources are going underutilized.
Still.
Right? We can still be a bedroom community, but we can still...
Right. You can have both.
Correct. You can still have business that fits the neighborhood and the community.
Right.
So you can have that sort of buy-in. So like the complete burden isn't on the residential taxpayer.
Exactly. And then you want people to stay in town instead of leaving town to go to dinner or leaving town to go to the beach. We
have none of those things.
We don't either. Yep.
Now we have 1712, which was formerly Giorgio's, which I love. Shout out 1712.
Too. Yeah.
Really good drinks, really good food. It's a lot busier than maybe Giorgio. I love Giorgio's because I'm Greek and I knew the owners and they were so cute. They
That's cool. I didn't
they
know
would
that.
make me moussaka and just they knew that my parents were, that we were a Greek family and stuff. So I do definitely miss that. But other than that, we would have to go just to even do like if you were someone who didn't have a dryer or a washer in your home, you would have to go to Taunton just to do your laundry. You have to go to the Taunton Hannaford to do your grocery shopping, or the Taunton Shaws at that time.
And Taunton's a good 10
It
minutes
is.
from...
It is. And I love Taunton too. You know, my family on my mother's side really hails from Taunton. But my point in getting involved in public service was more, why? Why not Dighton? That was the question I would always ask.
Why not
Okay,
us?
that community is great. Freetown's great. Berkeley's great. Somerset's great. But why not Dighton? Why don't we deserve these things?
And you do.
We do. No one was working towards them.
Well, and I think you had the vision because you were able to, and I know in my experience too, I was able to step back and be like, wait a second, I see this through a whole new lens. And it's exactly what I said. I'm like, when I moved home, my boyfriend that was from Los Angeles flipped out that, actually way before I moved home, he flipped out that we lived on the water. And I'm like, it's the Taunton River. Like, that's when I realized, I'm like, but you live in Los Angeles on the beach. Like, what? So then I realized, I'm like, no, we have something here. We just have to do something with it. But I think what I'm learning is that most people that have never left here like we did,
correct,
they don't realize what the rest of the world is like. And they assume that things just stay this way. And they don't have that vision that you had, that I had. They don't see, they can't wrap their head around like, oh, wait. We have all the resources.
I think to your point, it's so true. I think they understand the problem. Hey, why are our taxes so high? Why is all the burden on the residential taxpayer? I'm more speaking about Dighton. That may not be the exact same case in Somerset.
Yeah, it applies.
Awesome. See, twin city sisters.
Yes.
It's more like they identified the problem, but they don't, because they don't have that. And I don't mean experience. Like, I know I'm not the oldest person, right? Or the most experienced in terms of life experience, but I am almost 40 years old.
Yep.
And I feel like I have lived in other countries and I have lived in other states across our country.
Right.
And I have seen how things are done. I've lived in states with no state income tax. I've lived in, like you said, Paris, France, where there was taxes out the yazoo. And so I've seen it done both ways, right? And my whole thing was, we've identified the problem, but no one's thought about what the solution is. How can we bring business to this community so that we can just alleviate a little of the burden on the taxpayer?
Exactly.
And so that's what prompted me to run. That's what prompted me to get in public service. And before I was even a selectman, I was on the zoning board. And
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And before even that, I was just like a volunteer on a committee. And what we were working on at that time was what to do with one of the buildings that had really been not abandoned, but really underutilized. Not really, the maintenance was not up to par. And so it had really, that asset, that resource that we had at that time had really gone by the wayside.
Right.
And that's what prompted me to get involved. I just like good government because I think we can all agree that government needs checks and balances. But at the end of the day, we can't eliminate government. We just need to make it good.
Right.
And we need to make it work for people and address the needs of people. It's always going to be there. Let's just make it do what it should do.
And have a vision for the future.
Exactly.
And apply it.
Strategic planning.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. And that's, that whole thing ties into Somerset. People, why do we need a planner? Well, do you want me to get into it? Because there's a lot of
Dighton
things.
needs one. I advocated for one.
Oh, good.
Based on our conversations that we had at that time and just the experiences, the positive experiences that you would tell me about your town planner and the grants.
Right.
Mind you, the grants that not just I was writing, but just me and regular people not even affiliated with the town. Volunteers. Thank you. No
should not
special training or...
They should not, because then you're married to whatever that person wrote.
Exactly. And just, you don't always know the best, most professional way to phrase things or what that particular state agency is looking for.
Right. And what it's going to tie you to.
Correct.
And commit.
And there's always commitments when the state gives you money.
Yeah.
So I think that was really influential upon the many discussions that we had.
Yeah.
Sewer, water, I can just think of a million things.
Yeah, economic development.
Yeah. And and it's sad. I look around and I'm not too sure what's going on between the two towns right now, but I hope they're still talking. I hope there are still open lines of communication, because they definitely were when I was there and when you were there.
And I think when I left and when you left, the ties, because both of us lost so many staff after we left, because the staff couldn't handle the harassment and the bullying and the
intimidation.
What did we call it? Fuckery? Yes.
Fuckery.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's complete fuckery. I mean, we've lost a library director. We lost a town clerk. And I don't mean that the new people that are there aren't fabulous.
Right.
I only hear good things about the new staff.
Yeah.
But it is when people get elected and they're elected with an agenda, a special interest, myopic agenda that is not the agenda of the regular Somerset or Dighton resident. And I guess I'm speaking about Dighton than Somerset at this point. Yeah.
It applies.
But it is when those people get elected by like a partisan organization, political organization, special interest organization, it's the voice of the average resident gets drowned out.
Yes.
And when the staff feel like, I'm talking about, the staff that actually run the joint. Selectmen come and go. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
Selectmen come and go.
Right.
There's an election every year.
Right.
They come and go. The people that are running your town, and this is Dighton, Somerset, it could be any town in the Commonwealth, or really probably across America. The people that are running your town are just the rank and file people. They're not political. They didn't run for their office.
They do the heavy lifting.
Yeah. It's like the assistants that are doing all the work. The assistant town clerk. I don't want to take any credit away from the department heads that do a fabulous job as well.
Same there, though. They're doing the work.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the people that stay, that are there 365 as the selectmen and the so-and-so elected officials come and go.
Has an agenda.
Correct. That's who's just doing the quiet work.
Yeah, and they know. They have all that institutional knowledge.
Exactly. They're the steady hand on the tiller.
Yeah, exactly. Great way to put it.
It wasn't Brett. Brett was always replaceable. That's why I didn't cry sad clown tears when I wasn't elected, right? Right? No.
You didn't try to implement a recall?
No.
Like what? Somerset, like it happened. No. They tried to implement a recall. No. We lost the election. We would like to implement a recall bylaw. Well, you can't.
It's just stop being a loser.
Exactly.
Be better at winning elections.
Stop creating fuckery.
Correct.
Thank you.
Stop fucking around and finding out.
Exactly.
Stop. There are good people who go to that town hall for services. There are good people that go to that town hall, I should say town halls, every day. And they're just doing good work.
Yeah.
On behalf of people.
Yeah.
They're not asking for notoriety.
Right.
They're not asking for fame and fortune. Do you know what they're asking for?
Respect.
A little peace and fucking quiet.
Right. And don't push your garbage on me.
Stop coming around. Stop watching us all day with your agenda, trying to silently intimidate people. Stop coming to the polls on election day and shouting at people.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what they do. They stand in the doorway and watch them work.
Leave us alone to do the quiet adult work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then you lost all those staff. Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Not just, I want to be clear, when we talk about library director, when we talk about town clerk, when we talk about other really important critical staff, those are important people.
They are.
Those are important people that deserve to be valued, who deserve to have longevity so that they're allowed to help in the strategic planning and forward growth of any community.
Exactly.
We don't need loud noise, chirping voices, and a bunch of fuckery.
And lies.
And
spinning.
And innuendo.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can I tell you what the funniest thing is, though?
What?
That I have just noticed just in my own life and in my own experience. The second that the tables are turned,
Yeah.
people are pearl clutching.
Oh, like what? God
People
forbid.
are crying clown tears in clown corners.
Yes.
And people can't take it.
They can't.
And what I find the answer always is, or what the response always is from sad clowns, is this word, and I always marvel at it, narrative.
Oh,
Your narrative.
You're right.
People know your narrative.
They don't.
Really?
Right.
Narrative. Because
they don't even really know what that means.
They don't know. Well, do you know what it means? Do you know what they're using the word narrative and what it actually means? Truth. I call it the truth.
Yes.
So
your narrative is not my truth.
Correct.
And my truth is not a narrative.
And my truth is the truth.
It's just the truth.
There's just the truth.
That's all
There's
it is.
not a narrative.
No.
And if you're upset about what's being said or what's being told,
yeah,
be better, do better.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Stop.
All of that applies to us too. And I can only imagine it happens everywhere.
Oh yeah. I haven't even said a half of what was said about me or my family over the last, 6 years that I was elected. People are still talking about me.
Yeah.
People are still, and you too, I see it online.
Same.
People are still talking. You haven't been in office for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, almost 3.
I mean, almost a whole term has almost gone by. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to applaud you.
Thank you.
Because I honestly feel like you get all the benefits of a selectmanship without any of the headaches now.
Yeah. And I'm here on this podcast saying what I want.
Exactly.
Right? And so are you.
And it's amazing.
And my life about you too.
My life has flourished.
Yeah. I've watched it. I've watched it. You moved 90 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
You created a group that is growing and people are listening and rising above.
Truth tellers.
And truth tellers. And they're fighting for what they feel is right because they're tired of sitting back and letting it's really the Dighton GOP, right?
Yeah.
That's like taking
That's
over.
That's exactly who it is. Yeah. They did. They have all 3 seats on the Board of Selectmen.
And to be fair, the selectman role is not, it's a nonpartisan role.
Yeah. No, never.
We don't have
not
to enroll.
Partisan at all.
And I'm independent.
Yeah.
I think you are.
I was.
You were.
Yeah. I was my first 2 years.
Yeah. And so to be fair, and clear, we're not pushing a Democrat or Republican narrative right now. I know we just talked about narratives, but this is a conversation about human beings in our community.
Working for good.
Yeah. And you and I both are supported by the left and the right.
Absolutely. I love
both extremes.
100%.
Yeah. And both of us, I see you, are supported by very far left, very far right, and everything in between. So when we say the Dighton GOP, we're not saying that because we're some
that's just
crazy
the name
liberals.
They call themselves.
Yeah. They're not, I don't even know if I call them rhinos, but they're just, it has nothing to do with the Republican Party. It just has to do with that's who they happen to be.
Yeah.
And
they're very involved in state and federal stuff.
They try to be.
They do, and which is fine.
Yep.
That's their American. I would fight for them to have that right.
Exactly.
I don't say that lightly. I mean that. But just on a local level, that just doesn't have a place.
It doesn't.
Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it has nothing.
And in my whole group, I guess it's not my group. It's
the town.
Dighton citizens that have, like you said, I live 90 minutes away. I'm just, all I'm doing is just telling everyone what's going on. Right. Because I know people and I know what's going on. Right. But the average Joe and Jane Dighton resident who have kids and have a life and are busy, right, may not know. And so I do feel like, even though I may not live there right now, I'm a lifelong Dighton resident. I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, elect better people or do better.
Correct. Right. And if you can't handle it, then there's something wrong.
Correct.
And what you're handling is the truth, not a narrative.
Yeah. No.
It's the truth. And the truth feels like an attack when you're guilty.
That is the perfect saying. I really couldn't say it any better. It does. And if it don't apply, let it fly.
I love it.
If it don't apply, let it fly. If the Dighton GOP is all up in my Facebook posts, and I haven't said a name, that tells me all I need to know.
Right.
But they may call me a lot of things. Irrelevant's not one of them.
They call me that, unfortunately.
They're losing. They've lost town meetings.
Yeah, so have our bad groups.
The last, I don't even know who the last selectman that was just elected was that apparently they say I was running against, even though I wasn't on the ballot.
Oh, right. Oh, you have to tell this story.
Barely won with 50%.
You have to tell this.
There was no opponent. None. And this person won with 54%.
Only. So there was no opponent, and everyone wanted Brett to run, and Brett said, I am not running.
Moving.
Like, he was moving, an hour and a half north, and again, Dighton's like only like a few minutes from Somerset. Super close. But anyway, Brett was like, no, guys, I'm done. Like, I did my 6 years, I'm done. And they were like, no, we want you in there, blah, blah, blah. So Brett's like, look, just write me in, I don't care. But
if you want to write me in, here's my address.
And you weren't even running a write-in campaign. Like, you were running no campaign.
There were no stickers. There was nobody handing anything outside the polls.
And you didn't campaign.
I wasn't at the polls.
Right. And you got, what's the percentage again?
I think I got like 45%, 46%.
You weren't even on the ballots.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. You just moved 90 minutes away and
make it make sense.
They wrote
I can't even serve if you elect me.
That person's humiliated.
I mean, God bless whoever it is, but I mean, that's sad. It's sad. But you know what I say? You get the government you deserve. Pay attention.
I love that phrase. It is the truth.
Pay attention.
Wake the fuck up.
Do better and stop the fuckery.
Exactly.
Stop the fuckery.
Wake up.
We have a bunch of clowns running an organization talking about back the blue.
Getting away with.
Ain't nothing they've done have backed the blue.
No.
They've not backed the blue, the red, the town clerks, the nobody.
Right.
We're pushing people away.
Yeah. Literally sending developers out of town. Literally. Yeah.
It's
the same in Somerset.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
I actually on my phone somewhere have a response that Selectman Hull, I didn't even know that he had responded to something that I had posted about me claiming that he was a white supremacist. Yeah. That's never what I said. What I said was, why are you speaking at white supremacist organizations if you're not one? Crickets? Do we have an answer to that?
Still don't.
No answer. Good luck. Good luck to you in April 2024. He's done it several times, as I understand. But it's not me. I want to be very clear. I have a real life and a real career.
Yeah.
And it's fabulous.
Unlike these clowns, but.
Correct. These sad clowns.
Right.
So I'm not the one like pressed or anything like that. I'm not thinking about them and I'm not doing anything. The Southern Poverty Law Center. Let me just repeat. The Southern Poverty Law Center is the one that has deemed the citizens organized to restore rights is a white supremacist organization. So let me repeat. Why are you at their meetings, boo?
Boop.
It's not about what Brett said. Let me repeat. It's not about what Brett said. The Southern Poverty Law Center said you speaking to white supremacists, boo.
What you got now?
And my other question is this the best Dighton can do? Or is this just the leftover trash?
It's the latter, but it's actually both.
Sad.
It's very sad because the former is probably true. Even though they can do better, they just didn't want to. They weren't awake.
No, they're woke now.
Yeah. We got to tell the story about you drinking before barging into a meeting.
The wine with dinner?
About sleeping.
Oh, the sleeping guy?
Sleeping and voting.
Oh, my Lord. And then Turtle Boy chimed in. Can he chime in now or is he still in jail?
I think he might be in jail.
Oh, no. Sad clown. Sad tears. Sad tear. Who got the last laugh on that, though?
Right.
Hi, I'm here. I'm free.
Still here. And I'm
Hi, and free.
Yep.
Wild and free. Yeah, I mean...
I didn't know that's what that Turtle Boy article was about.
Yeah, that was about sleeping guy. And they said,
No.
yeah.
It's
And they
such a
said I
good
had
story.
lied about everything. I'm like, there's like a video.
The video is phenomenal. I'm going to see if I can splice it into this recording.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm going to see if I can.
hope so.
Yeah.
But
and
please don't
let's see.
please don't ever interrupt my dinner and my wine with your fuckery.
Right. To be clear, what that means is there was a school committee meeting going on. And even though the selectmen in any town don't have jurisdiction over the school committee, they still have to work together for, they can't direct each other's budgets, but the school's still
And
part
we're
of.
not trying to.
We're not
Yeah.
trying to, and we can't.
Correct.
But we still have to work. The selectmen
Correct.
still have to work with the school. So Brett was watching the school committee meeting,
And I saw someone sleeping.
but it was late. It was like 10:30 at night.
It was like 3 hours into the meeting, and he
Brett
was
had a
sleeping.
bunch of wine, and he was
Correct.
getting angry because. Go ahead.
Why is he sleeping? Why are you sleeping? Go home.
But you had your friend drive you there.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely.
And he barged into the meeting.
I sure did. I'll kick any door down.
So he saw the person sleeping,
when I
got
see an
mad,
injustice.
and then had his friend drive him to the meeting
Correct.
at 10:30 at
Miss
night
Daisy.
after a bunch of wine. And so Brett comes into the meeting and tell them what happened.
Wake up.
He actually stood up in front of the committee and said that on camera.
I said, you're a disgrace. I said, all you're going to do.
Shouting.
I said, watch it back. It's NBC. Like, just Google my name. I'm not ashamed. Don't get caught slipping or sleeping on my watch. Okay? So yes, I am going to kick the door in. I am going to come in. I'm going to ask why you're sleeping. And then I'm going to ask why you're here when all you do is sleep. And then you're going to wake up when the vote needs to be taken. You're going to vote no.
Like always.
Because you're an asshole.
He said this on camera in front.
Go back to bed.
He's like, the guy's yelling back, and Brett's like, go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Goodbye.
Rip Van Winkle. Good night.
Good night. Goodbye, sir.
New at 5 o'clock tonight. So was it a threat? We now have video of a heated exchange at a Dighton Rehoboth school board meeting.
One official is accused of threatening another. NBC 10's Brian Crandall is live in Dighton, where police are investigating tonight. Brian?
Yeah, Emily and Dan, a Dighton selectman came here to police filing a complaint saying he was threatened by a school board member who has a different interpretation of his comments. It's here on video.
Stop. Don't get in front of me.
Richard,
I run you over.
Mr. Barrett.
Oh, how nice.
You have a member?
The comment at the center of the controversy. Dighton Rehoboth School Committee member Richard Barrett, on the far left of the screen in a blue shirt with dark hair, said it to Dighton selectman Brett Zagrafos, who was in the audience and out of camera view. The two men were involved in a contentious back and forth about the budget at the end of the school board meeting Tuesday night. A minute before that comment, Zagrafos accused Barrett of sleeping at meetings.
You're going to
Maybe
sleep
I
through
will,
the
maybe
meeting,
I won't.
wake up at the end and vote no.
Hey,
You're an
know,
elected official.
Just because I got my eyes
You're an
closed, I'm
elected
listening to
official.
what you've got to say with my eyes closed. If you don't hear a
You've done a
snore.
great job.
Then, after more raised voices, the comment in a fuller context. Zagrafos first.
Goodbye.
Over the
I've done a
prior
lot
years-
more than you have.
Sullivan.
I'm awake.
Stop. Stop.
So am I.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You better be, because you got to drive home now.
Stop.
Don't get in front of me.
Richard,
I run you over.
Mr. Barrett.
Oh, how nice.
You have a member of the school committee now making
This man is unhinged.
The next day, Zagrafos posted on Facebook that he filed a report with police. Zagrafos posted that Barrett's behavior was unacceptable and he is a danger. Zagrafos wants Barrett to resign. He told NBC 10 he felt threatened. Barrett told me he won't speak on camera without talking to a lawyer, but he said to watch the comment in the whole discussion of him sleeping behind the wheel. Barrett told me he did not mean it as a threat, telling me the comment was in jest and he's not going to run anybody over. Was told to NBC 10 those comments cannot be considered in jest. Again, police confirm they're investigating. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News, live in Dighton.
I can't. Well, he said, something about, well, if I saw you in the parking lot, I may run you over. Well, you'd have to be awake to do that. Good night.
That's what it was. You'd have to be awake. So the guy literally threatened to run Brett over and ended up having to go to a magistrate hearing in court.
What I will say about him, like in terms of the absolute garbage that I've encountered after him, I actually think he's like a nice dude. Like, I really don't think he really was trying to threaten me. Looking back on it now,
Probably not,
He's
but-
a harmless guy.
But
But
you
wake
don't
the fuck
say
up.
that. Yeah.
Wake the fuck up.
You don't say that.
You
I
don't come to a meeting and fucking sleep, dumbass. Wake the fuck up.
Or threaten.
And if you're sad that I told you to wake the fuck up, go lay in your bed because you won't hear my fucking voice there. Goodbye. You're at a fucking public meeting, clown. And I'll say what the fuck I said. Boop.
Oh my God, I love Brett so much. I'm going to try to splice this in now. I know. I have to splice it in. I have watched it probably.
No, you cry every time you
I
watch
do,
it.
and I watch it just because, and I mean, the video isn't that good. It's kind of like, because it's a town camera. It's like a piece of shit camera.
You don't say.
And the audio, obviously you can hear the audio, and you hear Brett screaming the whole time and telling the guy to go to sleep.
Well, and do you want a little insight on what that magistrate said?
What?
Because you're
yeah.
telling the whole story, so let's tell.
Yeah,
the whole,
let's tell him.
Let's
Yeah.
tell the whole story. That magistrate said, "Sir, I don't think that this man, and which I agree with, was actually like really going to try to hurt you." But he said, "Man, that town of Dighton's really lucky to have an advocate like you."
To you.
Boop.
To you.
Boop.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a sleeping guy. It was to me,
It was-
just in case you couldn't put those pieces of the puzzle together.
You never know.
No,
We got to make it foolproof.
we got to tell the story completely.
Exactly. Hold their hand through
Yeah, he said that. And I felt like that was the best compliment ever. I'm like, yeah.
It is. Especially coming from a magistrate.
Nobody's going to silence me.
Right.
Boop, period. And if you're upset, wake up and let's argue.
Yeah. So, wait, I need you to tell them
Mm-hmm.
about your friend Lenny that's running.
Yeah.
Leonard Hall. that we
Leonard
just
Hall
talked about.
Jr. Yeah.
Lying about his vow about his dead wife, whatever vow he made on over his dead wife's body.
I have to rewatch the video of so let's back up. The issue that was being discussed at that time before the town meeting was funding. I think it was an additional $30,000 for, because certain monies had already been allocated to reconstruct the elementary and middle school parking lot campus because of how many complaints and concerns that we had received, not just from school staff, but from parents and children that have to deal with the chaos every day. And as a response, we had, a study done and what can we do to kind of like make it a little bit safer.
Yep.
And the Dighton GOP put together this whole, they didn't care about school safety, right? They just care about Brett thinks this is needed, so we're just gonna say no, right?
Right. It happens
Right?
to me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which is
It's
fine.
insane.
Which is fine, but like I'm just concerned about the kids at the
town.
school. I don't care if you hate me.
Right,
Like I'm
right.
not losing any sleep,
Like,
right?
don't-
Look at
right.
my face. I have not a wrinkle.
Right.
You're not affecting me. Look at this face. Look, not a wrinkle.
Exactly.
Not pressed, not stressed. Nathan.
No Botox,
Sleeping
nothing.
like a baby. No Botox needed, no nothing. Okay. So then the Dighton GOP, obviously, as I said, wanted to vote against it, which is fine, right? That's their right too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right?
But it's bad for the town.
But it's bad. Correct. And that's all I was saying.
because of a fucking vendetta.
Personal nonsense.
Over nothing.
Small
a vendetta.
dickness.
Oh, a vendetta.
Small dickness. I said what I said.
Yes.
And if it don't apply, let it fly. If it don't apply, let it fly. If you're offended, now I know.
Yeah.
Small dickness. It's a disease. Okay? Anyway, so then they started this whole campaign calling it a road to nowhere.
Oh,
A road to nowhere.
what does that even mean?
So at one of the meetings when the Board of Selectmen met to decide whether they were going to recommend the article, my recollection, and again, I do have to read it back, my recollection is that Selectman Hull said something to the effect of, my wife, who by the way was my substitute teacher, who was fabulous,
Yeah.
who was a good person,
Mm-hmm.
who only wanted to do good in this world.
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to get emotional, but she was a good human.
Right.
And as a kid, when you have that kind of good naturedness, it makes an impact on you. So I remember her. And I remember he said at the meeting something to the effect of, she'd want this. She'd want me to vote yes.
Leonard Hall said this about his
and,
late wife.
And again, before I will go back, I'll watch the meeting, I'll get the exact quotes and everything, right? This is just my recollection. I don't have the exact quotes off the top of my head. Do you know we got to the town meeting? That was to recommend the warrant article and put it on the warrant.
For the $30,000 to help the kids for the roadway.
Right?
Yeah.
$100-something thousand had already been worked and plans had already been developed. We just needed a little more. And when I say we, I mean the kids. Yeah, it's not Brett. Brett wasn't going to the campus. Brett didn't need the reconstruction.
Right. Brett ran for office to represent people.
Boop. Brett was, again, just fine, sleeping like a baby, not pressed, not stressed, no wrinkles, no gray hairs. So then we get to the town meeting like a few weeks later. I swear to God, this man stood up and voted no.
And this is after
me and Selectman Pacheco looked at each other and I've never seen such cowardice.
Yeah.
Prior to a hand vote, I'm going to ask all the yes votes to stand up, and then all the no votes following to stand up. All the yes votes, please stand up. Thank you. Please be seated. All the no votes, please stand up. Can the checkers please come forward? Another hand vote. All opposed, please raise your hands, keep them in the air. Article 14, yes. Count of 57, no, 71. Article fails to pass.
Gross. Like it made me feel icky.
Yeah, I felt that before with something else with town. So, but this is after he promised at the selectman meeting. I just, for the listeners, repeat that at that selectman meeting before the town meeting when he voted no, at the selectman meeting, he had voted yes and said
to recommend it,
that everyone should vote yes. He said, "You have my support. My wife, my late wife, his late wife had just would have wanted this." So he made it this emotional, like heartstring attached,
which was totally moving. It took everything in me not to cry that night.
Whether this passes or not, we are going to come back to the table with the school committee and decide what is best. So for anyone watching, I just want to let you know those conversations are ongoing. They will continue, and we will devise a plan that hopefully solves the traffic issue, but also, I want to say this in the right way, also is palatable, but also makes sense and is affordable.
Mr. Chairman, as someone whose wife supervised students, as someone who saw the unsafe conditions on that roadway, I would like to make a motion for the Board of Selectmen to recommend that the town transfer from free cash an amount not to exceed $30,000 for planning and permitting costs to redesign the driveway and traffic pattern and add a maintenance facility at the Dayton Elementary School, Dayton Middle School.
I'm going to second that.
Second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I wanted to make one last statement, and I apologize, Mr. Chairman. I want everyone to know there has been discussion, rightfully so, of a $1.5 million price tag. That is a lot of money. I just want everyone to know that just like with the HVAC system, which was much cheaper than this, I feel we owe it to the residents, to parents in the district, to the students and the educators, that we should ask taxpayers to fund this as a very last resort. We need to exhaust every grant funding opportunity. We need to give periodic updates. And I just feel very strongly that that should be the last thing, is asking the taxpayers to pay this. So I hear everyone's concern. This will get the project rolling, but we certainly don't have to ask people to pay it. We can I don't want to say hold up the project, but we can wait to get a grant to complete it while other discussions are ongoing with the building study committee as well.
I'm supporting this with some pedal.
Somewhat.
Pedal, political.
Yeah, well.
Because grew up with her as my substitute teacher. She was always one of the substitute teachers when someone was out.
Yeah, and he tugged at the heartstrings and made it all this beautiful thing, only to find out he was pandering for support.
And the Dighton GOP must have called him after he said that right?
Yep.
Because he told me one time that they were in some group chat together and there were like 100 people and he was getting crap for it.
So grow a set of balls, dude.
Yeah, no, that never happened. Or maybe they just didn't drop.
Right.
I have no idea.
But promise that.
He needs to live with that, not me.
Right.
Again, I'm sleeping just fine, 90 minutes north, right?
Yes.
Still relevant.
Like this.
Still relevant. Not because I say I am, because they say I am.
They do.
Boop.
They haven't stopped talking about both of us.
No, boop. And you've been out a year longer than me. Yeah. It's crazy. It's like you never left.
Right.
You're going on your third term.
There are days.
You're on your third term.
I am, I guess, yeah.
You're on your third term. Towards vesting, yes, I agree.
That's the only thing. We both work for the state. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful.
Best employer.
Oh, it really, truly, honestly, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way,
we're just here speaking as ourselves.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Just not representing anybody, not representing any entity. Brett's here representing Brett. Holly's here representing Holly and the salt grain.
That's right.
But no, it's so true, and it's just like it's sad to see these forces for not good, for anything but good, having influence.
They have a right. And I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad it's waning.
Yeah, but it's done so much damage.
And I've seen what's happened, and I'm certainly not going to pretend like I know the ins and outs of Somerset, but you
know a lot.
I do know a lot. We're good friends. A lot of what I will say in my assessment is just looking at what has happened in Somerset and Dighton's about a year or two behind what has been happening in Somerset.
Right, but in parallel.
In terms of the forces.
Yep, in parallel.
The special interest forces.
Yeah. Having
influence.
You even got attacked for support, for being my friend. You got attacked by Somerset people.
I did. Which I wear, by the way, I just want to say is a badge of honor.
It is.
A badge of honor.
Really?
I don't know you. I don't care about your opinion about me.
Yeah.
I know I'm that bitch.
And
I know Holly's a good person who would literally give anything for her community, who is still giving to her community in what way she thinks is best.
Likewise.
And a lot of times I just think it's not deserved.
It's not.
It's not deserved. It's not warranted.
You and I were raised, the communities that we were raised in raised us. And we wanted to come home from being overseas, from being across the country, to give back to our community because we both saw potential in the community that the community members hadn't seen it the way we see it.
Correct.
So we had that vision and we cared. And I didn't want to be a fucking politician.
I never thought of myself as one.
No way. You're doing biology. I'm doing engineering.
We were hometown kids.
Yeah.
Who came back to use the skills that we had acquired.
And
to do
vision.
a little bit of fucking good. Let me just repeat. A little bit of fucking good. Just a little bit.
Seriously.
And the fuckery that ensued because of that.
Jealousy.
jealousy. I'm sorry that I'm a threat to your small dickedness, but that's your problem. That's not mine. I don't have that problem.
Exactly.
That's not my problem.
It's a personal problem
That's your
of theirs.
problem. Correct.
Yeah.
Not mine. That's not Brett's problem.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and
they're still mad. They're still talking about me like I'm still there.
Yeah, me too.
Like I'm still there. If I had known I didn't need to be there,
yeah,
with all the stress and the nonsense and the fuckery, and I could be 90 minutes north calling the shots.
Right.
The last election you talked about where listeners, this person almost lost and didn't have an opponent.
And
that wasn't even a joke. Like I know it's funny. I literally was not trying to be cute or funny.
No, you weren't. In all seriousness, like you guys, I know this happens to me all the time. People are like, "There's no way what you're saying is real because it's so extreme," and I'm like, "No, just please." They only hear it when it happens to them, and they're like, "Oh fuck, you were right 2 years ago." Well, fuck you. You just wasted 2 years.
We could have been miles ahead.
Oh my god!
Right?
Yes,
it's so true.
So when I say that Brett got half the fucking vote in Dighton, Brett was trying to move 90 minutes north, not run for office in Dighton, and he was that beloved that he got half the vote by people just writing his name.
I don't even think it's like a compliment about me. I think people know I worked hard and like I think my record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I have no hubris, no ego in that regard. I do not think it was about me. I really think it's about them.
It is.
I really think it's like, really? We're going to have just clowns who are part of this a special interest, myopic vision, regression central, small dickedness political organization.
The de-economic plan.
That's focused on de-economics, which if you haven't been paying attention is where we actively lose businesses or don't try to bring businesses into a town because they don't want to deal with any of the nonsense.
The fuckery.
That's what they have going on now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my record, I was like a pride flag waving communist. I mean, what did I do? Well, Brett brought in the dispensary, medicinal and adult. You're welcome. Brett brought in the entire renovation that's occurring of the Spring Street Mills. That's now going to be cannabis cultivators.
Awesome.
Where I forget the name of the exact business. The gentleman's name is Colby. He was fabulous.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
He's trying to lease the property from, I believe it's the Feeney brothers that own the Spring Street Mills. And then he's going to lease out the properties to other independent cannabis cultivators.
That's perfect.
Because it is in a residential area. So obviously, rightfully so, like they don't want commerce really in the area.
Right.
But if you're just going to make cannabis products and ship them elsewhere, like who cares, right? And so there was total buy-in by the neighbors, even some of the hobgoblins from the planning board, Robert Woods.
Oh, yes.
Who maybe or maybe not has seen his feet lately. We don't know. I can say what I want about an elected official, and I will. Who's going to check me, boo?
Not the state.
Who's going to check me, boo? Well, the Dighton GOP was filing a lawsuit against me for telling the truth. Were you aware of that?
They still are?
Oh, I don't know. They said this in April.
Oh, the clown attorneys.
Yeah.
That they were talking about.
Yeah, the attorneys of Clown and Clown. Yeah. Yep, them. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Clown and Clown. They went with the law offices of Ringling Brothers in Barnum.
Oh, right,
yeah,
right.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So they're still like on tour. They haven't made it to Dighton yet.
No, they're still juggling balls and eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yep. And in the meantime, Lenny's still giving speeches at CORE,
right,
the white supremacist organization. So that's all happening.
That has nothing to do with Brett.
Has anyone told the Dighton GOP that telling the truth is perfectly legal, or do they not know that?
No, wait, to be clear, not every GOP is like this.
Yeah, no, it's just the Dighton one.
And I think it does apply in many, at least a small bit in other communities. But this is...
Oh, you have some gremlins.
Oh, I have a lot
You
of
have some
I have a
gremlins.
lot, probably more.
You bigger gremlins.
Bigger ones. So, but we're not trying to shit on the GOP.
No,
I just want to be clear.
No.
It just so happens that it is the Dighton GOP.
Yeah, no, this is their name. I just want to be very clear. This is what they call themselves.
Yeah, Somerset has some really fucking bad ones too.
Some of my best friends. I drive a Tesla.
Yeah.
I drive a Tesla. I'm not afraid of having GOP friends or I don't care about whatever
party. Yeah.
Correct.
Some of my best friends are far left. Some of my best friends are far right.
Who cares?
Seriously.
Some of my best friends, I don't even know what they think.
Yeah, and that too.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Because unlike them, we're not living every day with this.
Obsessed with it.
Correct.
Like it takes over.
I don't hero worship my politicians.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So you were saying the Dighton GOP, and Lenny is still out having these conversations with the white supremacist group and blaming you for the people recognizing it.
Yeah.
Even though
the Southern Poverty Law Center is the one that's tracking this because they're a hate organization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But it's my fault because I said something.
Yeah. That you heard.
Correct.
Or read or whatever.
Yeah. See you in 2024.
Yeah.
You have a lot to answer for.
What's the date?
Can someone tell Lenny that you're not answering to me? I don't even live there.
Exactly.
You can best believe I won't be casting a vote against you, but best believe I'm going to be holding your opponent's sign and you will have one. It ain't going to be me. You will have one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Imagine if you get written in again.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because guess what? When you go somewhere and you do something and you work hard and you don't give a shit about politics, guess what?
People realize you're being real.
People like that.
Yeah.
People like that. I'd probably get... Don't tell the Dighton GOP this. I'd probably get twice as many votes now if I ran again.
Oh, I bet you will.
I should have been telling the truth last time about all their fuckery.
Well, it's hard because you and I both, we're very vocal and we're not afraid to speak the truth. And the haters, and in my town, it's not the Dighton GOP, it's Save Our Babe Rate and Point.
Yeah.
And they're a mix of liberal and whatever.
It's an issue-based organization.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they become a hate group. And they...
Are they being watched by the Southern Poverty Law Center?
I don't know.
No? I'll have to check on that.
Yeah,
we'll have
you
to
should
Google.
check.
Can someone Google that?
Oh, they've been revoked. Their 501c3 status was revoked.
Wow.
Yeah, this summer. But so they're terrible. But they were the ones that I've talked about in other episodes that attack me. The Dighton GOP attacks Brett. And they don't stop.
They don't stop. But they also don't understand that there's nothing to attack. We're not there.
Yeah.
So this is why they're losing.
And they're mad because we're truth seekers and people listen to us. Because
it's not even just us. It's I'm just telling the truth.
You're
I'm not
just talking a normal...
I'm not getting a paycheck for it. I'm not doing it for notoriety.
No.
I'm not doing it. I do it because I have family that still live there. I have friends that still live there.
Right.
And they deserve to not elect people that don't deserve their vote and aren't going to do good things for the community.
And you care.
And
Bottom
I do
line.
care. I will always care. I say that all the time. The community is not the 3 select clowns that are there right now.
Right.
That's an anomaly, and that's about to change.
Yeah.
The game's about to change. We're about to flip it all on
And
its head.
you're about a year and a half behind Somerset. That's
are.
exactly what just started happening to us. And the haters hate it. They hate that finally the truth is coming out. But you were just getting back to your point a few minutes ago. You said it's frustrating to see these groups having influence. And I totally agree. And that's the hardest thing that it was for me. I'm like, why are these groups that are so unbelievably full of lies and so clearly not out for the right things? Why are they having influence? And that's what was hard for me. And what I realized, and let's see if it's the same for you. What I realized was because it was the same thing. I was getting depressed about it. That's why I resigned. I couldn't do anything. So I fought it from the outside. Well, it was the same thing. Why are they getting all this traction? Where's it coming from? Well, I realized it's because all the good people in town, they're not obsessed. And nor should they be. The good people in town are like, oh, I trust the selectmen are doing their job. So they're not
Correct.
paying attention.
No, they elect you to do everything.
Exactly. Not the haters that try to manipulate everything that you do and go to every meeting and scream in your face. But what I realize is the bad people were getting influenced because the good people were silent.
That's true.
And I had to write letters to I sent a letter to every single member of this community, every household. I was so devastated. And the thought of Jake losing that election 2 years ago crushed me. But he won.
I had just lost right before
you
he
had
won.
lost.
And that, I remember
and that's when it started for you.
And I think knowing that the letter that you did, knowing the good person that Jake is, or Selectman Vaught, excuse me, forgive me, Jake, is, and the good that he wants to do and is doing for the community, and same for Selectman Souza, I just felt like, okay, I may have lost, but this community, Somerset, that's about a year or two ahead of us in terms of this weird, vicious political special interest organization.
Yep.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because Somerset looks like the tide's turning.
Yes.
Right?
And we mirror each other all the time.
Correct. And I remember people used to joke around about you saying, "Are you awake yet?" No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And how many times do I need to say it for them to wake up?
And that was what was so disheartening. I'm like, my support base, which is not the haters, my support base are this wonderful people in my support base. And I'm like, why are they silent?
Yeah.
And I was even being physically assaulted.
I remember.
And it's
horrifying.
It's like, where is everyone? And they were like, well, I don't want to be involved, which I don't understand. I totally understand.
Know. Some just like genuinely don't know.
Right, genuinely. They're not trying to be obsessed and like pay attention. It's a lot of work to pay attention to that stuff. You want the elected officials to handle it.
You've been assaulted. I've had people literally chase me down in my car into my driveway.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. And then Robert Woods from the Dighton GOP was writing in a Facebook group about how hilarious that was. Really? That was hilarious? Because I got out of the car, told the dude, "What are you doing? You're really going to follow me here?"
Oh my God.
That person drove away.
What?
I wasn't in the car. I was standing in my driveway asking the person, "What the fuck are you doing in my driveway?"
What did they say?
Nobody was scared. They drove away. They didn't say anything because I got out of the car.
Right. You were not afraid.
Absolutely not afraid.
But it's still scary.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Yeah.
It's not scary. I'm not scared. Nobody's scary. They're scary.
They are scary.
They are scary. Scary meaning scared.
Right.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of nobody. Never mind some dude who hasn't seen his penis or his feet in decades. Scared? Really? What are you going to do? Roll out of the Jeep? Really? Please. Please. Come check me, boo. You know where to find me.
Wait, can we talk? Can we?
Scared, never, not once. Please.
Can we talk about?
Some other guy said the other day, "You're scared to come to a town meeting, bitch. I don't live here anymore. The fuck am I going to come to a town meeting for, you fucking clown? Let me just drive 90 minutes to go to the Dighton town meeting, you fucking moron. Get your teeth fixed." Clown. Worried about me driving down. You really want to see me that bad? Ain't nobody else look good in this town? I need to drive 90 minutes?
As if you're going to drive down here.
Let me just drive 90. Really? You need to see me that bad? Are you paying to charge my Tesla? Can I charge my Tesla between your teeth?
Your gray teeth.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Or black,
oh my
brown
God.
Teeth.
Dentist wet dream. I can't with these people.
It's so
really? You think I'm going to argue with someone with 2 teeth and 2 brain cells? And I'm going to drive 90 minutes to do so?
I can't.
These people, they don't have a mind to lose.
They don't. And the most dangerous thing is a person with nothing to lose.
Oh my God. A person with bad teeth.
Oh, the bad teeth in Somerset?
It's spreading. It's in Dayton. I said to someone, I said, well, they clearly don't have a dentist in Deluluville. I know what they don't have. Periodontist. Google that. Google that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Slap some porcelain veneers on that if it's that bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
It is. No, it's bad.
Well, but what? We have fluoride. Do they just not? I don't get it.
Yeah, well, you got people complaining about the goddamn water like their brown teeth is your problem.
Exactly. My teeth are just fine.
You're washing your teeth with the same goddamn water.
Exactly.
What is wrong with people?
Take care of your fucking teeth.
These people have never heard of science.
Or dentists.
Correct. No, well, now it's a periodontist, girl. You don't got the choice of a dentist.
No, it's
the dentist was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's all done. Maybe even 15.
That was 10 teeth ago. That was 10 teeth ago. I'm sorry. No, ma'am. No, we're not going to be taking any orders from you, ma'am. Absolutely none.
We'll unelect you after 7 months.
Oh my God.
No
Can
names.
you even imagine? I was there for 6 years and they barely got rid of me.
Yeah, same.
They hated me because I was trying to raise a pride flag.
Yeah, really?
That was the worst. That was the thing that they could complain about. Meanwhile,
no, I saw it firsthand. It's not that crazy. It is more. It was crazier than that. Go ahead.
But meanwhile, we have elected clowns on the planning board coming to selectmen's meetings with the Confederate flags they own.
Shut the fuck up.
But we're worried about me hanging a pride flag. Bitch, I'll hang a pride flag wherever I want, whenever I want, however the fuck I want. Okay? Ain't nobody mad about your pot belly. You've been carrying those goddamn quintuplets for years. Nobody's complaining about you. Fuck out of here and worry about your goddamn self.
To be fair, Brett and I have been attacked by people that have made it personal.
Oh, yeah.
For what? How many years now? 8?
I can't even count. I'm going to say whatever I want to say
but now. But
now they're
time.
in office and I'm not in office.
So we're going to test the waters, giving them a
test the
taste.
waters, and it's going to be a tsunami. And it starts now. What I want to know is, why did Leonard Hull think it was appropriate to support the clown town moderator in his power grab attempt at the last town meeting? This man wanted to be able to appoint FinCom members mid-year. Right now, the FinCom just appoints their... No, nobody would do that because nobody trusts him. So nobody allowed it.
Why would... Yeah, that's so stupid.
Because they pull Leonard Hull Jr.'s strings. And he gets... They do the
lack of balls.
Oh, he said that I'm a puppet. Bitch, I said what I said and it's the truth. You gonna sue me for telling the truth? Sue me. You've been trying to sue me since April. I haven't received a fucking thing in the mail.
Clown.
Not one fucking thing in the mail. Do you know why, Holly?
Why?
Do you know why I haven't? Because MGL number 5-6 says that it ain't a fucking crime to tell the goddamn truth in the state of Massachusetts. Okay?
Or the First Amendment.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to say what I said.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what I said all day, every day. Who gonna check me, boo?
It's like the judge told me.
Who gonna check me, boo? And if you will allow it, I will come back every quarter until...
Yes, please. More.
I have to give a time frame.
Okay.
I have to give a time frame.
Okay. Come more.
I will come back.
If you want.
I will come back consistently.
Yeah.
Until we purge the entire Dayton Board of Select clowns of the 3 Dayton GOP puppets that are there right now.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah. So you have 2 more years? 3 more years.
3. Yep.
More years.
2.5.
2.5.
Yep. 2.5. 2.5 of these updates.
Yes.
These very important, critical updates of your Dayton Select clowns.
Perfect. Because in Somerset, we have 1 more coming up.
You do.
Because we're ahead of you.
Yeah, you are.
And
you are. This
like
is the riffraff. This is the riffraff, folks. Somerset. This is like the last of the trash.
Yep.
It's at the bottom.
Alan Smith.
It's literally stuck to the bottom of the barrel. Like, are we going to scrape it or not this year, Somerset?
Alan Smith, I will say real quick.
Yeah.
This episode is about you, but I do want to mention this. Now that we're on the topic.
No, I need to know.
Alan Smith is the selectman in Somerset that's running for 2024 in April election for selectman for another 3-year term. He ran for the first time 3 years ago. So he's been in office 1 term. When he first ran, this anonymous letter was sent out and it had all this crazy shit. It was like a docket about his parole because he had an assault and battery out on him or something for his wife.
He didn't put that on his flyer? His mailer? No? Oh, okay. That was a serious question.
He also had not paid federal taxes for 13 years. So fiscally irresponsible. That was in the flyer. There was something else. There was something else. I don't remember. And I remember when we got the flyer, like a couple years or a year and a half later, I'm like, I have to verify this because I knew Alan eventually would be up for re-election. So I verified some of the stuff and it's all true. So I just want to say that Alan's coming up for re-election. So I'm going to try to put out those facts again, the ones that I was able to confirm. And he has a lot to answer to because he's tied to that horrible group in my town.
Yeah.
Just like Leonard Hull is tied to the horrible group in your town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever that group
and
may
there
be.
are some overlaps
There
too,
is
as I understand.
Yep.
There are some key people that overlap between the two groups.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is maybe not so much tied to the issues that SOBB cares for, but my understanding is there are some overlapping Republicans that are instrumental in the Somerset, whatever.
Yeah. The Save Our Bay.
No, there's like a GOP group.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And they
committee.
work with the Dighton GOP group as well. Yeah.
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 There are some great people in Somerset's town GOP, but there are a lot of lunatics.
There are some good people in the Dighton GOP. But what my whole point is that when you elect a select person, not a clown, not a select clown, when you elect a select men, you're electing someone to be independent on some level.
Yes.
This is local politics. I'm going to take the issues that come to me. I'm going to make the best decision for the entire community, not we have conservative values. Do you know what?
Or we just don't like Brett.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Well, many people don't like me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need more friends.
Right.
I'm not here for friends, honey.
No.
I'm here to tell the truth, right?
That's it.
And there's no one more hated than the person who tells the truth. And I wear that like a badge of honor.
You're right.
But the whole thing is that I just feel like sometimes people kind of overlook the forest from the trees. Meaning, sometimes I feel like people can look at someone and say, okay, you know, this person maybe has tried their best. They've tried to make the best decisions. They've been an independent thinker. That's not the case here.
Right. No, they don't logically
think. This person has Selectman Hull has never once thought for himself as a selectman.
Right.
I know this because I worked with him. And he'll say, oh, you have a political agenda. Really?
No.
You're the person in the political group as a selectman with the political agenda.
Yes.
Who are pulling your strings.
Right.
So that's classic projection.
Projection, yes.
Now, for any of our salt green listeners who may not know what projection is, it's an old psychological term. Please Google it. It's very important. Holly, can we have on the episode, let's have projection.
Okay.
Adjective, verb pop up with what it is, what it means.
What we really
it's important.
need, the people, we think our listeners, pretty much our listeners will understand what that means. Most people know what that means.
Good.
I think the people that we need to do it for are the haters that are watching this.
Correct.
To try to shit on us.
Correct.
But they're secretly obsessed.
So hold on. They're watching your podcast in an attempt to shit on you.
Yes. They obsess over everything I do.
They're watching your podcast in their beds, in their robes, in their dark rooms, eating their bonbons and their cookies, shitting on you.
Yep.
Well, that's...
calling me irrelevant.
Well, that's something. That is... Do you know what I call that?
What?
Mental fucking jujitsu. Do you know what I call that? Deluluville. Deluluville party of however fucking many. That's frightening.
It is.
That's frightening. Do they realize that you and I have never once lost a wink of sleep over the opinions of clowns?
They don't.
They don't. They think we do because they do.
Because I was just going to say that.
Yeah. That's funny. No, honey, I've never slept anything but like a baby.
Yeah.
And I never will. Because I'm not concerned with the opinions of clowns and peons.
Exactly.
No.
But back to the getting the power. I know we already talked about this. But seeing them get influence.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, the power is being taken away. It wasn't about power for me.
No.
It was about justice.
Purpose.
And being lied to to gain power. They lied through their whole thing. They lied to get ahead.
Correct.
And they're still trying, and now finally people see it, and that's turning around. But that's the problem. And the lesson here is people need to stay involved. Now, look, I never used to vote. I never used to want to be involved. I went to a town meeting years before I ran for office and was like, what the fuck is this?
What is this feudal system?
It was so, I was like, I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
So I left.
What is this fuckery?
It was fuckery. It was like, it's the oldest purest form of democracy is open town meeting. It's like the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Well, when someone decides they can use it as a weapon. Yeah.
Right. And they weaponize it.
Yeah.
And they use it for power.
Oh, wait. I can just muck up the waters and junk up the... Hold on.
It's easy to do.
Oh, I don't have to be elected. I can just be a clown at a meeting saying whatever I want to say, and no one can fact check me in real time.
Because all my clown friends will come to the meeting because they have no...
When I say my clown
They
speech.
do. They do.
Oh, my God.
And those are the only people that want to attend these meetings.
It's like a David Attenborough Planet Earth documentary. I can't. No, I just can't.
So, who wants to go? Like you left office and you have not gone to a town meeting. You've rallied everyone to go to their town meeting.
Yeah.
For the right reasons. But you're like, I've done my part.
I've done my part.
And that's what I say.
I shouldn't have to do anymore. I'm still contributing by just telling people what I know and the truth. Yeah. But what makes me, and I think you will have had a similar experiences. What makes me happy is to see the success that we've had using our platforms to tell the truth about what's going on at these town meetings and what these articles mean.
Right.
And the gross, grotesque power grab that some elected officials in Dighton have tried. Meanwhile, so let me tell you this story, and you can maybe splice this and tie this back. The town moderator, I told you Selectman Hull had supported his clown articles where he was trying to grab power, basically. The other thing is this man thinks he's some master of the bylaws. He's had a sign, a lawn sign of his, out on the corner of Elm Street and Hart Street, where our friend Suzanne lives.
Oh, yeah.
For over a year. Sir, you're supposed to take down your fucking lawn signs within 7 days, you piece of shit. Can you learn the laws? Your own bylaws? You're the town moderator. You think it's appropriate to have your goofy fucking lawn sign with your ugly face on the corner of Elm Street and Hart Street for a fucking year?
Yeah.
Can we post the picture of it with the episode?
Yeah.
Clown
show.
Why do you have your signs out? Are you an eternal candidate? Nobody likes you.
Well, and it's not like it's in some private cul-de-sac where no one sees it, where they just forgot about it by accident.
Yeah.
It's in a public place.
It's in a public place. Do you know that when that article got voted down where he was going to try to appoint the FinCom mid-year instead of them appoint their own vacancies?
Yeah.
Do you know the vote was 67-12?
Which is like nothing. No one goes to town meeting. It's sad.
Do you know
in a town of how many? 7,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8,500?
Yeah. Somerset's
Do you know
18,000.
that Selectman Leonard Hull requested a hand count?
What did the town moderator say?
Well, that was the clown.
Oh, it was
He's
his clown.
the clown.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're both clowns together in the same circus, the GOP.
So he did the recount.
So we did the recount and it was 67-12. Why are we wasting taxpayer dollars calling for hand counts on votes that are 70-30?
Right.
Can we make it make sense? What about fiscal responsibility?
Right. They don't care about that though. When
Nobody said I was on his goddamn goofy lawn signs.
I know. And they only care about, see, when the tables are turned and they're questioning you about something stupid, they're mad.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't be questioned.
No.
Ever.
No, clowns can't be questioned.
No.
No, they're entertaining.
They're supposed to be clowns
Mhm.
all the time.
Let us make people laugh.
Let
or
us
cry.
say whatever the fuck we want and
Nope.
get away with it.
Nope, there's a new sheriff in town.
And we're going to get away with it because we're going to intimidate everyone around you.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope, not intimidated, not going anywhere, still here, still queer, and still more relevant than ever. And I know that makes y'all mad.
That's right. It's the truth.
It is the truth.
It really is.
But not everyone can handle the truth.
They can't.
Not everyone can handle it.
Nope.
Especially clowns.
They just can't.
Nope.
They're meant to be always clowns.
Correct. The funniest thing is that I remember when Selectman Hall ran, it said compassion on his lawn signs.
Yeah.
Where is the compassion?
No, it doesn't exist.
Where is it?
No.
His big issue was the pride flag. That's not even a real town issue.
No.
Argue about real issues.
Yeah, it's unreal how.
And then we have that other clown. What the hell? The guy that beat me. What the hell's his name? Peter Karen. We have him promising to lower everyone's taxes. Anyone? Has anyone in the municipality of Dighton received a lower tax bill thanks to Peter Karen?
Jesus Christ could run and taxes would still go up.
Oh, boop. But do you know what the difference between Jesus and Peter Karen is?
What?
Jesus wouldn't have promised to lower the taxes.
Right.
Because Jesus is an honest human being.
Right.
Boop. Boop.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to come back.
And just visit.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we have to exercise some demons every couple months.
We do.
You know,
Yeah, every
it's a
other
lot.
month. Yep.
And we can't let the people with the brown teeth back in.
No more brown
No.
teeth. Sorry.
No.
Keep that
No.
fluoride in the water
Yeah.
and
keep using it.
brush your teeth.
Yeah.
And go to the dentist.
Yeah.
Right?
Perio.
Yeah.
We're skipped a few steps, but yeah.
Oh my God. What did you call it today? You called it or you were either calling this podcast episode or something else, Fear and Loathing in Dighton, Massachusetts.
No, I was talking about the intimidation tactics of the clowns.
Oh.
And how they'll go to the polls or they'll be at town hall watching the employees.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they have their people in certain elected and appointed positions.
Yep.
And it's just created this sense of like fear and loathing in Dighton, Massachusetts.
Oh, it does. It did it in Somerset too.
Yeah.
We lost almost half the staff at town hall.
Wow.
I mean, so many staff, and most of them, like 90% of them left for political because of the election.
Yeah.
The terrible people getting elected.
The library director in Dighton left. You don't think that had anything to do with the clowns who wanted to ban the books?
Exactly.
The books!
Yeah.
The books! The thing we have to fear the most is in education. I can't. I mean, you can't even make it up.
No,
I
it's
can't.
bad.
And then they would say that I was lying about them wanting to ban the books. The Gazette wrote the damn article.
You didn't even write it.
I didn't. Am I a journalist now?
Oh my God.
We get blamed for everything. I mean, honestly, if
but
I was
that-
half as powerful as they thought
Well,
I was,
that's what I say. I'm like, why are they giving me so
I'd be
much
the
power?
queen.
Exactly.
Honestly, you know what? I will say this. I did see, speaking of the Gazette, there is a hobgoblin on the planning board from Dighton, Robert Woods. And I saw, hold on, I want to pull it up because I want to make sure I get it right, okay? Just give me a second. You know, I'm old. It's going to take me a second to get it up. But you remember the horrifying incident, obviously, that legit, no jokes, like that happened to us at the at Fiesta.
I was going to mention that. Yes.
Traumatized. Like, I mean, we're fine because we're tough and resilient people. But this potbelly clown writes on the Taunton News Gazette and on a random article. This wasn't even about the Fiesta incident. Nice news story, unlike the terrible reporting of the gay drama queen ex-selectman from Dighton and Somerset. That one's you. Who have a history of distorting the truth to drive their own narrative. Maybe they should stick to coffee and lay off the tequila. First of all, I like both. Second of all, I'm not taking dietary advice from you, boo.
Ew.
Boo. When was the last time you saw your feet? Boo. Okay. But you know what I will say? We got to give him credit where credit's due.
What?
He did recognize that we are queens. And as long as he recognizes that.
Can you read that again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice news.
Wait, so this is from Robert Woods posting on an article in the Gazette about what?
And the story was about a new coffee van that was opening up over the summer.
Nothing
so
to
it was
do with
unrelated to the Fiesta incident.
And
that was
nothing
a
to-
separate news story.
Yeah, nothing to do with us.
Correct.
Okay.
And this monster writes, nice news story. Unlike the terrible reporting of the gay drama queen ex-selectman, apparently you're gay now too, from Dighton. You've been called worse.
Yes, I'll take it. It's fine.
That's not so bad. From Dighton and Somerset, who have a history of distorting the truth to drive their own narrative. Maybe they should stick to coffee and lay off the tequila.
They.
So, A, when did you become a nutritionist? We'll wait. B, why are you thinking about us? No one's talking about
random
you.
Article about a coffee
No one's
van.
talking about you.
So he said he lumped us together and said the former selectman from Somerset and Dighton.
Yeah.
And proceeded to say that we together.
Yeah, have a history. Yeah. Yeah, have a history of just. Do you know what he's basically saying in his ginormous speech?
That he's a bigot with a small dick?
That, and he's terrified of us.
Yes, he's obsessed.
He's obsessed.
But why?
He's nervous because he's ineffective and probably is unable to type on a keyboard over that belly, I would assume. No? I'm just speculating.
I mean, it's possible.
There's a lot of animosity
Well,
there.
it's like my bullies. They're typically 45 plus, ugly ass women.
Yeah.
That are just ugly.
Yeah.
And inside and out.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had potential until you hear them open their mouth.
Yeah.
They're disgusting.
Or see them open their mouth.
Or see them open their mouth. But it's true. The teeth. Most of the teeth are just. No.
Why are we hurling stones with picket fence teeth?
But picket fences are white.
Not the ones that have been battered by time.
Yes.
That off-white?
Natural wood.
Mahogany.
I can't breathe.
Cherry wood.
How do you...
Walnut.
Picket fence teeth. How do you throw stones?
Yeah, I just want our haters to know that this is literally how we laugh at y'all.
It's true.
It really is.
It's the God honest
I have
truth.
tears. I have tears. Oh, my Lord. Oh, don't cut this. Don't cut this.
No, this is not being
This
cut.
has to be in the episode.
Picket fence teeth.
I can't. I can't.
Natural weathered. Not Nantucket wood, but you know what I mean. Like the shingles.
I'm done. Clapboard.
No, the clapboard's too straight. It's just two shingles like this.
I can't.
Weathered by the you can't say Nantucket because it's too nice.
Oh my God. Nantucket.
Brayton Point wood shingles. Brayton Point shingles.
Nantucket.
Brayton
Somebody
Point.
said Swansea Beach.
On the Brayton Point side. Because of the coal. Weathered from that water. The bay. Mount Hope Bay.
I'm crying.
Mount Hope Bay weathered shingle teeth.
They're going to hate us even more when they realize that we don't give a fuck. What they say. This is how we laugh at them.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to take this recording and bring it to the judge in Fall River and file a harassment order against me. And the judge is going to look at me just dying laughing.
We didn't talk about anyone.
No, he didn't.
You know what the judge is going to say? If it don't apply, let it fly. Why are you mad? Do you think you have picket fence teeth, boo? Are you on the picket fence? Are you on the one? Are you the one on the picket fence throwing the goddamn stones?
Yes, they are.
I hope it's the same magistrate that gave me the compliment.
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that? And we
Yeah.
can both go in together.
Yes.
I'm going to wear my sequin robe so he recognizes me. He knows me. We cool.
We have to tell them the Fiestas incident that led to
Oh
this
my-
discussion
oh my
about
God.
Robert Woods commenting on a unrelated article.
Yeah.
So the Fiesta incident.
He was saying that we were distorting, we, meaning Holly and I, were distorting the truth about the Fiesta incident that happened. Sir, Behemoth,
I have
woolly
it on
mammoth,
video.
whatever
Fucking
you
moron.
are.
I had it on video.
Whatever you are. Okay? Whatever subspecies you claim. I walked into the restaurant looking cute.
After I did.
And
I was already
someone
there.
yelled, faggot.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for a problem. I didn't want a problem. But I am the one that when you bring the fucking problem to me, you're going to get the problem solved every time. And it ain't going to be the way you want it solved.
Right.
So his ass got kicked out.
Yeah.
Who was scary? Who was afraid? Bitch, it wasn't me.
Nope.
He wishes that some forklift would pick him up and bring him to a restaurant because he probably can't even leave his goddamn house. Are you mad? Because I could get to Fiesta? What are you mad about?
You hear you're a hater. And you're teaching the kids how to hate in this restaurant. Goodbye! Goodbye! Before I call the police, leave. Because I knew you said it before and I let it slide. Bye. Bye! Before you get escorted out. Escort me out? Goodbye! No, the police are going to do it, not us. Goodbye! 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 No, Brett, we got you. Do not.
So Brett came in, right? And I was already sitting at the far end of the bar, so I could see everyone that comes in the place. And I see Brett, and I saved him the seat, and I see him walking down between the bar and the booths, which you have to walk between. And there was a group of men in one of the booths near us. And so Brett passed them, and that's when he heard the word faggot. And it wasn't the group of men, but Brett wasn't sure if he even heard it.
Yeah, I was unsure.
So he sat next to me, and we chatted, and we caught up, and he goes, Holly, you know what? I could have sworn, and he told me he could have sworn this someone, a voice, say what it said. And
we didn't even think anything. We just kind of went about.
It wasn't loud. So you were like, maybe I overheard something wrong. Well, we go about our night, order food, drinks, whatever. And then we see a guy from the table of men. He's standing up, yelling at a guy with a beard in the table adjacent to the table of men. So it was the guy with the beard and like some other dude, and then the table of four men. Turns out the table of four men are also gay. We didn't know them. They were out having a good time. And the guy also said the F word to them when they came in.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got up when Brett and I were just eating our dinner and we heard like voices being raised and we didn't know what they were saying. And then we saw the waiter come over to like kind of intervene. But the victim, one of the men at the four men table, we could hear him saying like, I have a right to be gay, and something like, you're a bigot, and something like that, right? And so I started videotaping right away because I'm like, there's about to be a fight. Someone needs this on camera for safety reasons.
Absolutely.
Like, so I go to fiestas. We go all the time.
Yeah, I love it there.
So the waiter intervened, and then he ultimately kicked the guy out. So Brett starts yelling, I knew it. I knew it was you. You bigot. Get out of here. Goodbye.
And
Goodbye.
you piece of shit.
You piece of shit. Yeah. So Brett was screaming. You looked hot, though. You had your pink crop top.
I sure did.
And you were like yelling across the bar because we were at the end, like facing. And the four men like came over and they were really awesome, and they were like, yeah, and then we kind of exchanged information to talk about like what had happened, and so to make it make sense.
Yeah.
And so then that guy, and so I had a picture of the guy and I like posted it on social media, and then the media blew up from it because of all of the, all the hate that's being thrown around in the world.
Absolutely.
And it starts at the root. So people say, oh, small town politics. No, it starts here. We have to elect good people here.
We do.
We can't. Somerset has never been like that. And if it was hush hush.
Yeah.
No one would say that in a restaurant. Now they're saying it in the restaurant. Like,
right.
This isn't Hickville. Like, we're
correct. It's a city.
It's a nice town.
It's a nice town of 18
with very educated people.
Correct. It's supporting schooling.
Yeah.
The thing in Dighton, and I totally agree with you, is that we also need to elect people who represent good people.
Right.
Like, do you know how many conversations I had off camera with Selectman Hull where he would tell me, yeah, I have some really bad supporters. People part of the 3%ers. Now he's going to talk to the Citizens Organized to Restore Rights, CORE, the white supremacist organization. He knows better. That's my whole point. Like,
he panders
knows
to them.
He knows better, but to keep power,
he panders.
He panders to it. So nobody is calling him a white supremacist, but turns out when you're friends with them, we still don't want you.
Yeah.
We still don't want you,
You're
boo.
associating with
Correct.
them. And you can't... that applies at every level. And it starts at the root. It starts at local politics.
It's the most important.
It is. And even social media. When we first ran in 2016, social media obviously was already a thing, but it wasn't as big as it is now.
And it wasn't as negative.
Right. It wasn't as negative. That was like a complete exponential shot for the negativity. It was just boom. A couple years in, like right after
viral
2016,
negativity.
it was viral. You're right. And I feel like, we got stuck with that. And I talked about this on one of my first episodes with former Mayor Flanagan about how because of social media now, the shelf life of politicians is like a couple of years, the most. It's not like 20 years anymore. It's it's not decades, it's years. And I had to resign. These people were so bad because of social media enabled it and fueled the fire and fueled the fire and fueled the fire. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I have a real life, like you said earlier. I have a life. I have like real stuff, like work.
Yeah.
And a family and like my pets, like, and things I like to do and traveling. Like, I don't need to do this anymore. No. Like, what am I fucking doing?
Fight a bunch of lunatics?
Right.
No.
And I already tried.
Y'all can fight it out.
Yeah.
Boop.
Like, I'm good. I'm
going to be over here in my ivory tower.
Yes.
Telling the truth. And what y'all want to do with that, y'all can do with that.
Not your problem.
But it looks like y'all are still listening.
Yes.
And that makes some people mad.
It does, because they felt the taste of power and they were like, oh, we don't want it to slip.
And they felt the taste of their own fucking medicine, quite
did.
frankly. Boop.
Yes. They hate
Boop,
that.
the tables have turned.
They hate that. And people that know me, even people that don't know me well, are like, why do these people hate you so much? Like, we don't understand it.
They hate themselves.
They hate themselves. And they hate me because I see through their
Confident,
bullshit.
and you're confident.
Yes.
And a threat.
They're jealous. It's so fucking
They
gross.
hate me because they ain't me.
Yes. I never understood that phrase until I realized, because of other people telling me this, I'm like, I think they're right. This jealousy factor is nuts. And I don't get it, because why are you jealous of me? Like, why would you be jealous of me? I don't understand still. But it took me a while to get it. To be like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But like, fuck off.
Amen.
Leave me alone. One of them zoomed into one of my boobs in a picture, and like, because
it looked good.
Because it had it was the Assholes Live Forever brand, and so they were zooming in on it, calling me an asshole, and that I shouldn't be calling other people out. Something I don't remember, but who does that?
An asshole.
Yes, like get a life. Get a life.
I can't with people house.
Oh my goodness, that was a good laugh.
That was a good. We needed that.
We did.
That was cathartic.
I'm
gonna
glad
sleep
it was
like
recorded.
a baby tonight again.
Me too.
That needs to be in the episode.
It'll everything will.
Everything about us laughing at our haters needs to be in the episode. Not pressed at all. Not pressed. Not stressed.
Nope. So let's see. I gotta remember, and hopefully by the time you guys hear this, it will have been completed and in the recording. But I have to remember what clips to put in. So I need the wine school committee meeting.
I'm we can get the if it's still on YouTube, the video of Selectman Hull with the Dighton Elementary, Dighton Middle School campus.
Yep.
Whatever his comments were at that meeting, we can put in there.
Oh, with his late wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then wasn't there another one? There was a picture I thought we talked about.
A picture?
Like not a video of something, but a picture of something. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
That's all right.
Well, we can.
There was something, discuss. The 30-minute mark was the wine thing. And we said 1 hour and 12 minutes was something else. I'll go and look.
Okay.
Listeners, don't worry. I'm sorry to have to do that on the recording, because I don't have my post-production heavily edited. I like to keep it raw and real.
I love it.
Hence the salt grain. Take everything with a grain of salt.
Love it.
And we are wearing our matching sunglasses today. Although yours are a lot nicer.
No, yours are cute.
Thanks. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Well, I'll have something in a few months for sure.
Yeah, you need to come back.
Absolutely.
Be part of this. You've been part of the trailer and part of my life.
Love you.
And you know what's going on in the region.
I do. And I always will.
We're both still connected and
always love our communities.
Yep. And friends now. So very good friends.
Yes. I'll be back. It's not goodbye.
I hope very soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll give you an update right before the election.
Awesome. Right before April. Yeah.
Yeah, like
perfect.
February.
Yeah, and both of our elections are in April, so we're on the same page. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
We're on schedule.
Yes, I hope you get written in.
I don't.
You can't serve anyway, but it'd be amazing.
Another statement.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening. We have had so much fun.
Absolutely. I can't wait to come back.
Feel free to send us questions or whatever comments. And on Spotify, if you listen on Spotify, there's a kind of a survey you can take. Just basically what you think about the episode. And from time to time, I'll have polls and stuff like that, like fun stuff. I've only done like one at one point. So, thanks for listening. And thank you, Dr. Brett Zagrafos.
Thank you.
And we will talk soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everyone. The Salt Green is a podcast where politicians stop pandering and start getting real. This podcast is me, Holly McNamara, various co-hosts and guests. Our post-production is done by Pixella Films. For more content and all social media links, you can find us on thesaltgrain.com. Thank you for joining us while we take you into our world of public service, and be sure, as always, to take everything with a grain of salt.